Hi guys, it's a little while since I made a video for this channel. Part of that reason is because I've moved house. We're in a different house right now as I'm talking to you, and I wanted to get settled here before I started kind of picking up these videos again. But I'm here now and you can expect weekly videos moving forward. If there are any particular products you would like to see, I know I've had some requests and so I have those and I'm working through them, then let me know. And yeah, I'm going to talk about contouring today. I was just talking about it in another video and I thought I'm just going to pick up the stuff and tell you about the contour kits from Freedom. There are 3 different colours, I believe. The ones that I have, they have 3 different colours. I would still use the very, very pale one, which is this one. I mean, I'm fairly pale. Freudian slip. Yeah, I'm fairly pale. So I would definitely still use the fair one. Then they also have the medium one, which is this. If I was feeling dramatic, I could use this one, but I'm not, and very rarely am I. And then they have the medium 2. I'm not sure if there is a dark. If there is, I will annotate below, but you know, I think that's a fairly good spectrum. And I think when it comes to things like this as well, because they aren't expensive, you can pick up a couple and kind of mix and match if you want an extreme highlight, a very, very dark contour, or even something, you know, if you want to start sculpting other areas around your nose, your eyes, things like that. It's nice to kind of mix and match, but I use this very, very fair one, and I'm just going to show you how I use it. I'm going to use a mixture of this, and I also have the Bronzed Professional, what is this called? Shimmer Lights, which looks like this. I'm going to use a mixture of these two because I don't really do contouring, sculpting, all that. Sculpting more so, it's more strobing. When I went to the class with David Horn, he went on and on and on about it, and I'm like, what does that even mean? And apparently it is that you pick out the light areas of your face rather than accentuate the dark, which I'm so all about. I can definitely get on board with picking out the light rather than adding dark stripes to my face that I can't blend. Unless you have a good amount of skill, sometimes contouring can be really, really daunting. So I think strobing is definitely something that everyone can get on board with. I'm going to run you through what I do with these particular products to strobe. You can use them in whatever way you want. I just go with very, very pale, and I love this is matte because then I can add it in areas that I wouldn't want shimmer. Right in the middle of my forehead, like the girl that had a little curl. And then I do down my nose in a very like haphazard way. Just all the areas that I want to be brighter. And I mean, just adding the light alone then gives you that darker definition line without adding in the dark stripes. And why would you not want to be brighter rather than darker? It just makes more sense. Rather than darkening things to make other areas look brighter, just brighten things. Totally on board with the new strobing trend. And then I would go in with the darker colour and just ever so slightly, where I would contour, knock in a tiny bit of shadow. I used to be all about contouring, and then the less you do it, the less like skilled you are at it, and then it can go so wrong. And if you don't have the time to redo your makeup, that's why I kind of just avoid it. Whereas if you just do the tiniest little bit and you've already put the work in with making things lighter, it's just less scary. You could go down your nose if you want. I've never managed to perfect that. I think my nose is like a different shape from different sides. Like one side is more bulbous than the other. So I tried to do contouring, it just looks like a wavy line. It's never worked for me, contouring the nose. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with the highlight. Now, I could probably go in with the blush as well. This blush is gorgeous, really, really shimmery and glowy, but I'm just gonna go in. I feel like I look really porcelain right now. Really pale, but I like that. With this highlight colour. And it gives such a gorgeous sheen. Nothing too bold. I mean, you can get the highlighters and they are very bold, highlighty colours. And there is a time and place for that I feel that I want to use a really bold highlight. But for me, I like quite natural looking, glowy makeup. And this particular one that's all about that for me. I'm just in love with this highlight. See how natural that is? It's just a sheen. I really, really love it. Now, with regards to this palette on its own, this is really good too. I mean, I'll compare the contour shade for you, because it is a bronzer. The contour is cooler on this one, as you can tell. This is obviously definitely much warmer, but it is a matte bronzer. So if you do want to just kind of buy one product, this would probably do most of what you want it to do. And it's kind of in that trio, so you've also got a little bit of colour in the blush as well. But I really, really like this one because it isn't warm. And you can contour with a bronzer. It all depends on skin tone. I'm very, very pale, and so we've talked about this. I am very pale, and so I'm quite kind of cool toned, and the warm bronzer contour can look a little bit off on me, but if you're much warmer toned, that might be the right one for you, and it's kind of an all-in-one product. But I really, really like the matte, very pale strobing colour, and then I go in with a highlight that's a little bit shimmery afterwards. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that was useful for some of you that are a little bit scared of contouring like I was. Of everything that David Horn told us in that particular class that I went to, that was the one thing that I took away and thought, wow, I'm gonna do that all the time. And I do, constantly. I'm always strobing. Every day I'm strobing. Whereas contouring was definitely a little bit more daunting for me. So I'm gonna leave you with some swatches of what I've shown you and the different palettes that you can get. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.